Well, this is awesome. We're joined by Travis Pastrana, former Supercross racer, longtime fan, first-time guest on this show. But we actually saw you in person. You came to Philadelphia. I saw you there signing autographs in the Lawrence fan zone. I mean, I know you have racing background, but these days I know you're just super fan, and I know you love this stuff.
You know what's funny? I think I did a little bit of what Villapoto did. You know, you kind of finished racing, you've been hurt, you're beat up, and you drop off the face of the earth for a few years, and then you come back with all your friends, all your buddies you grew up racing with, and every time Supercross is on, or even outdoors, you know, we're watching. We're finding a spot to watch. We're with our kids. We're barbecuing. We're, you know, that's what I was telling. I was just telling Danger Boy when I was there. I was like, dude, you know, it's stressful. It's whatever as a racer, but you don't realize how much of an impact this has on just my fan group. Like when COVID hit, like we didn't hang out with our fans, or not our fans, our friends as much. Like the family time wasn't the same. And this Supercross is it's just an awesome sport, man. It's good. It was awesome to have that the knowledge of actually racing, but now to be a super fan, it's rad.
I want to know what you're thinking about Jett, because he has obviously been the story for, you know, going on a year now. This great run in Pro Motocross last year. He's on the precipice of winning. You know,
great run. He didn't lose a single moto in his first ever Pro 50 championship. How do you do that? I mean, Carmichael and Stewart have done it, but I mean, you know, first year, not one mistake, not one mechanical, not one. Come on.
Yeah. It's I mean, you were this kid though. You were the Jett Lawrence of your era, where everybody's pointing to Travis Pastrana saying he's the guy. Like, he is going to revolutionize the sport. And you went on to do much more than that across lots of different platforms. But what do you make of this kid being someone who had the talent like this kid does? How do you view this whole scenario?
You know, it's wild because the Lawrence family, I mean, obviously Motocross of Nations, you first hear Hunter, young kid coming out, just absolutely destroying it. First time I ever heard of him, I was like, whoa, dude, this Aussie's on it. And then you're like, oh, his younger brother's better. You're like, there's no way. But the coolest part about Jett is, like, now having, you know, kids and daughters, I have a lot of friends that their kids weren't into the sport as much as they are now. I went to Supercross last weekend because one of our all-time great friends who's building all of our ramps, his daughters are both huge. Well, one's a Hayden Deegan fan and one is a just diehard Jett Lawrence fan. That's how I ended up in the Lawrence, like, kind of fun autograph area there, was just because so many kids, and especially young girls, are so excited about our sport. It's something I never thought of, but having girls now, my girls are actually excited to watch. Oh, how's Jett doing? How's Danger Boy doing? How's, you know, and they gravitate towards, obviously, you know, as a father, it's not what you're like, well, no, that's not why you watch Supercross. It's like the sport's great, but it has transcended outside, kind of like Jeremy McGrath did in the early 2000s, doing Knack Max and, you know, just being his dominance. You know, when you have such a young talent coming up that's doing so well, it reaches outside of our general age group, our general, you know, our buddies that are watching. And it's really cool to see how many new fans it's brought in.
You had great talent and ability in the motorcycle, and you were definitely willing to ride hurt and train and work hard. But I think you always had respect for the guys that were able to have that one-track mind back then. So I want to ask you what your thoughts are on a guy like Eli Tomac, which to me is about as opposite of you as you can get. What do you think when you see a guy like Tomac who's like, I'm here to do one thing and one thing only, work, win, go home? What do you think of a guy like that who's totally different than what we see you doing?
You know, there was guys like Wyndham who might have put in one 20-lapper a week. You know, I mean, that's not even, these guys are doing 20 minutes plus a lap. It's like, it's a whole different sport, honestly, now to what we were racing. Even talking to Brian Deegan about it, like the speed. When we thought we were fast, and we look at the tapes, and, you know, it was back in the early 2000s, you're like, wow, it's come so far in the bikes and everything. But you had the Carmichaels, and I'd go to the Suzuki test track, and from lap 1 to lap 50, he did 50 laps every day on the exact same line, in the exact same lap time to the 10th of a second. And I tried that, and it was the slowest I ever was because I wasn't having fun. Where I was able to shine is doing something that if you had to do the same thing that everyone else did, I wasn't as good as the other guys. But if I could tire tap something or wheelie over something or jump a jump that no one else was doing, all of a sudden I'm in the ballpark. And when I tried to do it lap after lap, lost that passion. So like Wyndham going early, working with the dirt work guys and just building his own track how he wanted it. Like, he's not an idiot. He loves the sport, but he's like, I need to find something that separates me from everybody else.
It is amazing, the one track mind. And to that end, we're checking in with you. Just tell us what you've been working on over the last 2 days in your non-one track mind.
Look, I'm really trying to take a step back, and we're building this whole, like, well, we call it the shop, but everyone else in the world calls it Pastranaland. And, you know, we're getting all kinds of stuff. We got the world's biggest trampoline, set the world record on that for almost 50 feet off the top of the net, which was really dumb. All kinds of fun stuff. But today, we're taking a jet boat. We made a man-made canal, launched the jet boat 50 feet onto our airbag, and it went so well, we took the airbag out and we got a mulch pile landing. And then we got a little kiddie pool at the bottom. So ideally, we start in the water and end in the water and not upside down.
Okay, so Tomac will be hitting the same line 50 laps today, and that's what you'll be doing. Perfect.
Same, but different.
Thanks for the time. It's always fun to talk, and good to see you at a race, too. It's awesome to know, with all the ups and downs you had, you still love this. That says a lot right there, so thanks.
No, thanks for the crowd, too. It was a much warmer welcome than I could have imagined. It's been a while since I've been at a racetrack, and I really appreciate everyone for still remembering who I am. It's awesome.